Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Astral Stew.
Astral Stew. It's kind of meaty, but it's the kind of meaty that you like to eat, even if you're vegan.
It's like
Big gooey cosmos.
had a long conversation with my wife and kids today about how the difference between soup and stew. Soup is like vegetables and meat in an onion water flavored, onion water. And then like stew is more meaty. It's more thick. It's chunky. It's gravy and stuff. I mean, it's yeah.
Your opinion on how to make soup tells a lot about you.
I was like, have you ever had tomato soup? Because it's thick and gravy, and it's not a stew.
Well, then that's not a soup.
It's not onion water.
That's not a soup.
It's not onion water either. I was like, is it beef broth though? I don't know. I don't know what the difference between a stew and a soup is. I just always imagine soup being something that's drinkable for the most part, whereas stew.
Well, you can drink tomato soup.
Soup pours, stew gloops.
Yeah, gloops. Exactly. It's full of just shit.
Yeah,
like
Ew.
It's meaty.
Not poop. Like shit.
No, but like a bunch of random stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, like.
And then what's a chowder?
What's a chowder? That's a collection of cats.
It's a stew made with milk, I think.
It's a stew made with milk.
It's a stew made of cats.
I'm made of milk. Made of milk.
So anyways, man, I would realize the other day that we are past a year of doing Astral Stew.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, this is episode 15.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Well, color me surprised.
What color? I don't know. Surprise me with which colored surprise is.
Put
Salmon.
a pin in that because I'm going to make a callback.
Okay. So tonight's episode, we are talking about one each is what we're bringing to the table, right? This is like a dice roll. We're going to roll the dice and see what we get. It can't be worse than celebrity meat or cryptid peen. So
What are you saying, and why did you pick two of mine?
those were two of the greater episodes. They drove a lot of great discussion.
A lot of gravy.
A lot of gravy on those two.
A lot of onion water under the bridge.
A lot of onion water under the bridge for
Sure. Yeah. So, all right. So I'll go first for tonight. My topic.
Christianity.
No. We talked a little bit about this on Fearscape Unhinged a couple years ago. The moon. So
maybe it's not the moon at all.
So you got that
Spike,
the
please.
movie coming out, right? Moonfall. Have you all seen?
Already out. It is
it out already?
It has been out at this point for about a month and a half.
Okay.
What?
Current
I think.
events.
Well, my friend
No.
Phil went and saw it, and maybe he saw a pre-screening.
He
of
got
it.
He got some free tickets from a radio station. That's what happened there.
Well, he probably would. No, it's out.
Is
It's
it
out.
out?
I'm looking
Okay.
at it right now. Came out last week when
right.
we're recording this. So it came out mid February.
So I've not seen it yet, but the previews that I saw looked like there was some sort of a structure inside the moon, and that's what was causing it or had some sort of contribution to it falling. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is, we've teased it around. We've talked about it individually and then also on the episodes and stuff. Is the moon a spaceship? Is it the Ark?
Can cheese be a spaceship?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Why not? It doesn't melt in the cold vacuum of space.
Would that make it a chark? A chazark?
I'm just grossed out by chark. I don't know why.
I don't even know what chark is.
You don't want to know.
That's between you and your God at the moment.
So anyways,
Ugh.
the idea that
can you put chark in a stew? Like that?
Ethically sourced chark.
Yes.
Oh, damn it. What was I going to say? I honestly consider planet Earth a starship.
Yeah.
It's a generational starship doing exactly what
it is.
it should do.
Have you seen those
Starship Earth?
Have you seen those 3D models of what it actually looks like? Kind
Yes,
of going through the solar
life-changing.
system? I mean, it's not flat like we're all taught in school.
Talk about going from 2D to 3D.
Oh yeah, it's but yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, if you think about it, really, our entire galaxy is a star system, is a starship, because it's moving through space. I mean, we're on a planet that's moving in the solar system, that's moving in space,
protected by a
galaxy.
heliosphere.
But I guess the question really is versus a bio ship that is self-sustained versus something created by a humanoid or intelligent species, and that is a craft.
Right. Is there some sort of energy source that, should you be able to start it up again, you could fly that sucker across the cosmos?
That would be awesome, but I'm pretty much an adherent to the theory that it was a chunk that was blown off when when our sister planet collided with us.
I mean, that's the prevailing theory from science, right? Is that some other planetary body collided in. That's why there's a little bit of Earth stuff on the moon and a little bit of moon stuff on the Earth. But somehow in that collision process, like in all the models that I've seen, in that collision, there's a spin. There's spin to the moon. Somehow, though, that spin stopped and it became locked in its current position.
How about it didn't start out as a ship, but it could have been made into one?
Ooh.
Maybe the moon used to rotate, but it was stopped for technological reasons.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, I can definitely see that. I mean, you take a look at a houseboat, right? What if
houseboat in space?
What if you took a house and you were like, well, I got this big base of a boat here. I want to put this house into this boat. And then you have then a house that becomes a boat, right? Like, or even get really deep with it and say a tree becomes a boat, right? And so taking that theory of, could it have been turned into something?
But, okay, so if it was turned into something, why is it still here? That would imply that it was turned into something but kept here.
Because they left it for us to get advanced enough to play with it, just like we'll leave it for the one that follows us.
So it's a time capsule.
And I bet it's going to be the crows, not the monkeys.
Or it's post-apocalyptic. I mean, it's just like, we just 100 years down the road, we discover a garage, after the world's ended, and there's a garage and there's a car inside, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
And there's keys and everything. You figured it out and it starts. So maybe the entities or people, or hell, us as Atlanteans or whatever, created the moon as this thing, but they've all died off, and that spaceship was just left there waiting for somebody to turn it back on.
They've not died off. They're waiting on their ships out in orbit for us to get our shit together so the galactic party can begin.
I mean, there's that idea too that the asteroid belt, used to be another rocky planet.
I very much believe that.
And somehow it was destroyed, and that Venus may have once supported life as a moon of that planet.
Mm-hmm.
And that when the planet was destroyed, it spun Venus off, which put it into its orbit now around the sun, no longer supporting life. And so when all of that stuff happened, in a mass exodus, if you will, from that planet in a ship that looks like a moon could have happened. And then they moved to this planet.
But yeah, you're right. If it did hit our Earth, how did it stop? It's hard for something to stop in space.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like the Fermi paradox. We have seen other starships. They're just planet shaped. We're looking for saucers everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
They all have a mothership, right? And all the tales of saucers from the 50s and 60s, they all went to a mothership. What if that mothership is the moon? What if it breaks apart like a puzzle?
like one of those 3D puzzles. No, like the freaking the mask that Arnold Schwarzenegger wore in Total Recall, where you're like,
yes,
yeah.
He just pulls the moon out of his nose
in disguise as a Karen.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, there's that prevailing, not theory, but we know that the moon has rung like a bell.
Oh yeah.
That in somehow, in some way, is hollow.
It reverberated. Yeah.
It reverberated.
For like 40 something minutes. So
yep.
Yeah. Also there's I think there's like a what's it called? The Space Link Starlink So one of the Starlink rockets that was recently launched, it's out of control and hurling towards the moon, and they're thinking that it's going to crash into the moon, and so everybody's waiting to see if it's going to ring again. So, yeah.
And that's how Moonfall starts.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
So yeah, Santosh, you were next. If we're done talking about the moon being a spaceship.
Well, since you've decided that for us, Dad.
Yeah. Since you chose and you decided, let's go, Dad. All right. Okay, so mine's kind of controversial, and we might have to delete a lot of it. So I have put my bid out there to be a galactic ambassador. I think that I would be well suited to that role, but that immediately got me thinking about how long it would take before I started getting body modifications of things that I like and things that I don't. And then here's the really controversial part is I am an alcoholic in recovery, but do you think I'm going to turn down space wine?
Who in their right mind would turn down Romulan ale?
Right? I was thinking blood.
Of course you would. No way. Dude, that's just turpentine. That's
Also,
that's all that is. It's blood.
If you want to be a galactic ambassador, we already have one. You could get notes.
We do.
Stephen Greer.
Oh,
He is our galactic ambassador.
he's not the OG though. I mean, you got your
he's vying. I'm behind
got-
in the game then if you're throwing his name in the ring.
Yeah, you got your Buck Owens, and you've got your all the George Adamski. They were the OG ambassadors for the Space Brothers.
But
I mean more like Guinan. I want to just be like wearing really cool outfits, helping other alien species out as we travel and explore.
Hey, speaking of Guinan, new Picard. Yeah, Picard should be starting right around the time this
comes out. Yeah,
and Guinan's back. I'm excited about that. And
the whole
needs it because she's not doing so well in her personal life.
I mean, almost the entire cast, I think, from Next Generation is coming back in the second season of Picard. It makes me wonder if they were all like, we're going to wait and see if it actually does well before we come back, or if it was purposefully done that way.
What about Pulaski? Is she going to come back?
No.
That's a shame.
I thought you were talking about.
She was replaced.
Plus, she wasn't replaced.
She was with Dr. Crusher.
Yeah.
No, Dr. Crusher was the OG. Pulaski replaced Crusher
for a moment. Yeah, when she was pregnant or something.
Yes, for a year, for a season, and then Crusher came back.
Crusher came back. T-shirt.
And yes, I'm right on this one.
Crusher,
I know.
Crusher be crushed. I don't know.
Yeah, because I am in love with Gates McFadden, so I know when some crusty ass Pulaski comes on there and tries to take time from my hottie McCrusherton. I know what happens because
also well known, but if somebody's listening and didn't know this, she choreographed Magic Dance in Labyrinth.
She choreographed almost all the dances, but yeah, she choreographed that one, and she choreographed the where they throw the heads around.
The fiery ones.
Those were her two big ones. Mm. Yep. She was a movie choreographer.
Now, when you say body modifications, Santosh, in your ambassadorship, do you mean like if they offered you a robot arm or a tentacle
blue
arm?
Skin will be first. I would like to be like not like the blue kitty avatar ones, but close. More like did you ever watch Star Trek, and what was her name? Tal? Oh no. Zan. Oh, I can't believe I'm dead. Shouldn't have brought it up if I couldn't remember. But yeah, like that. I would very much like blue pigmentation.
So like the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy that raised Peter Quill with the mohawk thing.
Merle?
No, and not like those
Andorians.
Yeah. Maybe I want to be teal.
Oh, teal. Okay.
See, I want to do like in Star Trek Lower Decks, how he was able to upgrade himself. He's mostly a cyborg in the way that he's just got the chip in his head so he can learn quicker, and he's got that eye.
That would be one, like, right?
What if?
Have you all thought about Richardton's thing that's already killed like half the pigs?
What?
Elon Musk and the insertable doo-wopper.
I would watch that TV. I would watch that young. I would watch that young. I would read that young adult book. Richie McRicherton and the sticky in your head doo wopper.
Sticky in the head doo wopper. That sounds like some technical shit right there. That thing needs a manual. So,
but yeah, I would totally upgrade too. I'm with Santosh on this. Like, especially if it's, if it's advanced to it being advanced, I'm
right. Like a first finger that turns into a lockpick or things like that.
Do you think antenna? Do you think antenna would enhance your psychic abilities?
Antennae. But
it could be one. You could just be one stick, like a snork,
like a snork.
I would be a snork so quick. I want to be all-star.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd be a yellow one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would do it. Especially because I would assume that the advancements mean, because my only fear is surgery, and so like put me to sleep. I'm good. Yeah, give me a robot leg, dude, and a robot dick. I'm okay.
What if it like had you get infections of your?
Then you tell your doctor, Dr. Glubtar, and
Dr. Glubtar. Dr. Glubtar.
Well, he would pull out his wiggly whoop or whatever, and
it's right
stick it up there and floss it.
Do whopper gangle.
Yeah, do whopper gangle. Yeah. They have to use pipe cleaners to clean it all the time.
I would do it. Like, imagine, like you know what I would love is I would love to be able to breathe underwater. Like, I would love to be able to just be able to do that, go underwater, because sometimes the best, quietest place is just.
You know what's interesting? When people talk about when they have astral experiences, they always talk about they see themselves flying through the air or whatever, and that's supposedly a sign that you had an experience in the astral plane. I hardly ever fly, but I have a lot of dreams where I'm underwater and I'm breathing underwater. Like, it happens all the time for me.
I belly whop.
You belly whop?
I'm the best belly whopper in the South.
We don't want to infringe on WAPs here. So.
That's I can't get out of like WAP right now. I'm stuck. Move on without me.
From that wet ass poncho.
I am Frosty the Snowman. You sons of bitches. I'm a belly whopper.
WA2
Happy birthday.
I was like, what is a belly whop? Is that when you have sex with the fold? Like, it's got to be big enough to fold over and you can have sex with it? Is that a belly whop?
That's a belly flop. Drippity Drew.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What about you, Josh? Have you have not said whether you would have body mods?
You know, I don't know. I guess it would probably depend on what the mod is and what it gives me, right? Like, just having blue skin, what does that give me? I don't burn in the summertime. I mean, I don't know.
Blue skin.
Maybe it protects you from all the fucking radiation that our atmosphere usually takes care of.
What if you get to choose? Like, because this is different between being given superpowers and being modified for superpowers, right? Because if you could give me, because I would also want to extend my life. Like, give me a life extension so that I could see my daughter have kids and be there and a part of that. Because I'm old, so I'm 42. I'm gonna have a baby.
What if
at 42 I'm gonna be 60 years old when she graduates from high school? I'm nervous that if she waits till she's 40 to have a kid like I did, I don't get to be a pop, and so I want to be a pop.
What happens if, like,
pop with the wop?
They can extend your life, but not anybody else's.
I'm down for that. That's fine.
Yeah, right.
You'd see all your loved ones.
That's fine. You make new loved ones. I don't mean to be rude, but I have lived all. It's like saying when I moved out here to Phoenix, I'm not allowed to make any friends because I have all my friends in Kentucky. Like,
that's not like that at all.
It is though. It is though.
Yeah, it is.
You're telling me that because I have loved ones, I'm not allowed to have new loved ones.
No, I'm saying you would have to watch them die.
I already have seen so many friends die.
Anyway.
Do you know how many? I'm 42. Do you know how many friends I've already seen die? It sucks.
What about your daughter? What about your daughter?
Well, that'll happen if I'm going to live forever and she's not. And then I'm going to raise her granddaughter and she's going to call me Pop. Or I'm going to raise her daughter and she's going to call me Pop.
Okay.
And she's going to call me Papa Immortal.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just something people don't often think about.
No, I do think about it, but the point is we already, as mortals, already see people die before us. We already see our loved ones. So yeah, it sucks that someone younger than me is there. But I, again, lost a lot of friends and family that were younger than me that died, and yeah, it sucks. But I'm still living my life.
Unlike Stefan and I, you were obviously not as moved by the story of Bewitched. She was 523. That's what I'd like to make it to. 523. Then see how I feel about it.
I'm a Dora. That woman was like 984, like or Yoda.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to get wrinkly and like shrunken down.
And I don't know why you had to curse me, by the way, by saying only I get that power.
No, I asked the question. I did not curse you. I said, what if it can only be you?
Again, yeah, I would still do it.
So, like I said, for me, it would be what is the benefit of having it, right? Then I would base my decision.
I would base my decision on so many cosmetic options, because what if there's something cooler than hair out there?
Oh, Play-Doh
hair. Or what if hair is like an earth thing and it's really unique? So then
I'll trade my hair for immortality.
I don't think
Dr. Gloop Bar.
Yeah.
He's like, well, don't you're going to give me a hair for immortality? Oh, but you have so much hair.
So much hair.
What if you had to replace both arms with tentacles?
Done.
Depends on the type of tentacle.
Octopus tentacles.
Do I get 8 of them on each side?
You get 4 on each side.
4 on each side. Okay.
Well, I would like that because you could smack someone and then suction to their face and then throw them at the same time.
So you get a good smack. Stick there.
Patel. I mean, Spider-Man really, at the end of the day, is more like Octopus Man, but like, I don't know if you guys have ever zoomed into when he's walking on the walls, like what it sounds like, but it's more like that.
No, I've not.
So when you zoom in, the sound zooms in too?
But you got the Tobey Maguire version, right? He's got the little hairs that come out of his fingertips, and that's
that's just gross. He should shave those.
I know. Andrew Garfield got such a short shift. I'm sad about that still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So body enhancements. So if there's like a petition going around for Galactic Ambassador, somebody write Santosh in.
Yeah, Santosh for write-in.
I would be your campaign manager. Show quick. I will be belly whoppers for Santosh.
The WAP party is behind.
The WAP party.
Oh Lord.
Was that good enough one? I like how we skirted around the alcoholic drinking pan-galactic blasters.
You did. Herbal remedies, man.
Yeah.
Herbal remedies. Right, but there has to be something even better than liquor out there.
What if I mean you're assuming
heroin.
but you're also assuming that
the last time I was drinking a glass of heroin.
But you're also assuming that
Wonder Woman.
Alien liquor would be like addictive.
Liquor, Josh, hardly even know her.
Well, as our ambassador, maybe I have to find that out.
Yep.
And I'll be like, yep, it's addictive. Sorry, guys.
Well, and maybe alien liquor doesn't get you drunk. It makes you smarter.
Yeah. Or has a different effect altogether than our typical inebriation.
Right.
Or maybe it makes you grow tentacles.
Maybe that's how the modification begins.
Here, drink this.
Yeah.
A little bit of Alice in Wonderland motion here. So, okay.
Yes.
All right. Are we done modifying our bodies for
retractable gills?
Retractable gills. Like guys named Gil coming out of you.
How many guys named Gil do you know besides Gilligan?
It's Gil again.
Gil again. Yeah, there you go.
We now need to make a horror story, the horror version of Gilligan's Island.
Gil again.
Oh no, it's Gil again. First the professor and Marianne.
Somehow, though, the Harlem Globetrotters will show up and then be able to escape.
They better always.
Well, he needs them because he can't trot the globe to get away from the island without them boys from Harlem. So
And they're totally gonna have a space tour too.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget the cartoon Gilligan's Planet. Just throwing that out there.
Lesser known Disney movie. So
No, it's legit. Look it up.
Gilligan's Planet.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a cartoon.
Well, there you go.
So on to mine. So as of here in a few weeks of airing this show, I will officially be a father. Now we'll have a daughter. And I'm super, super pumped, but it's made me think a lot about humanity and how it all works and just everything like that. Not the how it happened. I know how that happened. I was a part of that. But
No, you don't.
watching
Don't lie to the audience.
watching my wife's belly get bigger and feeling baby Hazel's like feet kicking and all of that stuff, you start wondering at what point does it become life, right? But then even more so when you get into the Astral Stew version of things, if indeed there is a soul or there is indeed that spark, where does that come from, right? Is it reincarnation? And if it is reincarnation, how does the soul know when to go into it or where to go? Or if it does just spark something new. I don't believe in creative, intelligent designs. So how does that, like the Big Bang, what was before that, right? So how did that spark happen? How did it get that soul?
So I have a theory based on Leslie Kean's book, Surviving Death, where there's a section of the book where she talks about young kids, like in their like 2s and 3s, that will start having will know things about a person's life that lived long before them, right? Will have experiences or have nightmares and about something they were experiencing before in life. And so
much like the Dalai Lama
has phenomena reported around the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one of the things that I'm really thinking about is maybe the soul, the spirit, the essence, whatever you want to call it, doesn't inhabit the body at the time of being in the womb or even at the time of birth. Maybe it's like a little further into life, because you've got like so again, this is just me thinking, but you've got your brain, and your brain can keep your body running, right? Your brain can help you breathe and keep your heart going and that doesn't really require a lot of conscious thought, because that's how you can have somebody who's technically kind of brain dead, but their body's still living, right?
Well,
so just one more 30 seconds. So if the brain is just kind of keeping the body running, when you're early infantile, there's no need for that spirit consciousness necessarily to be present. The brain in its brute form can keep the body going, but then later, like maybe you're 6 months old, that's when there's a spirit imprint to say that this spirit best matches up with this body's life, or maybe the spirit gets to choose the body it goes into. I don't know.
So for 6 months, I'm raising baby alive, just a doll.
Maybe.
Well, we all admit to being a pilot of our meat mech, right? Mm-hmm. But I was just wondering, while you were talking, Josh, I think I see it more as like a car factory. It's still being built. You could hop in and call it a car at any time you want to, but it really doesn't make sense until there's enough of the car to service being a car.
You can't drive it off the line until it's built.
And also, do you know, here's a side question, but I kind of believe that there are people without souls walking around.
Yeah, we've seen what happens on Supernatural. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I totally buy into that. But that's a whole nother question.
I know, right?
That we could go into. No, but when we can, I'm fine, because now I'm like, what's that like? Did they have a soul ahead of time, or were they just born, or did the soul get captured on the way to the body? Like, the Hat Man grab him.
So it makes me think of Robert Monroe in one of his out-of-body experiences that he writes about in his book, he talks about how he was traveling with his family or something, someplace in New York or something like that. And he has an out-of-body experience. And there are these beings that are then immediately around him trying to capture him. So even though there's the silver cord, right, that connects your astral body to your physical body, what if for some reason you aren't able to return? You're captured in the astral plane by some, malevolent force.
The Hat Man, remember?
Okay.
We said that the Hat Man was one.
Sorry to bring it back around to alcoholism, but blackouts, which I used to consider pass outs, are completely different things, blackouts and pass outs. And I've had several instances of blackouts in my life. Of the one you're talking to right now, I don't have access to those other memories. Something was driving me around.
Right.
I woke up in, situations.
It's like you're on autopilot.
That's me, my werewolf story from college, Santosh, where I blacked out and was a werewolf and was found buck naked, an hour later, 2 miles from the house. I don't remember any of that.
But I mean, you're like, what if your body just goes in autopilot? Like the movie Click with Adam Sandler, where he like accidentally hits fast forward through all of his life. And, his family is interacting with, he's doing stuff. He's not his normal self. His body's on autopilot going through life. And what if that's the same, but your body's on autopilot? It's doing what it needs to do every day. It's getting up and going to work. It's having those basic interactions, but it's not you interacting. It's just your body.
This is hitting a lot of deep, going
or
on
what
right
if,
now.
Physically, what if when the sperm hits the egg, it creates something on a spiritual level that is like the Big Bang? It's like that hits, and there is some sort of energy that is released that does create a soul.
So you think maybe the
when
soul
it burrows in and then
created at the
dissolves
time
into a goo?
I don't know. Maybe that, I don't know.
I mean, I really like the way that the Disney movie Soul, the way that they kind of depicted things, that really resonated hard with me. So that like you're a spirit in whatever, the great beyond, whatever you want to call it, and you're waiting for your turn to go to Earth, or back to Earth. It's almost like you get to pick the life that you're going to live next. You get to, look at the parents and look at the life that you might have based on whatever, and you get to pick that life that you want to live.
You all heard the term soul contract, right? Thrown around recently in the communities. And so some people believe that you sign up and know everything ahead of time. I'm like, I think I chose the surprise option. I really don't think I would have signed off on this particular point in my life if I was able to.
Well, and then there's that whole idea of karma and reincarnation where, you're saying, hey, I need to learn this lesson, so I'm going to choose this life. I'm going to go into this, and this is what's going to happen. I'm going to be a fly that gets swatted.
What about the Reverend Dr. Pat Taylor and her opinion of no thank you? First time I ever heard somebody, she was like, if I get to the pearly gates and they're like heaven or hell, she'll be like, she said she'd go, no thanks, all that sounds like too much.
Yeah,
I'd just like to not be anymore.
Yeah, she was the only real existentialist I've ever met. That's why I loved hearing her teaching theatrical existentialism, because she was an actual existentialist, and it was interesting to learn all that from the viewpoint of someone who lived and practiced it. It's very interesting.
She told me there's a special place in hell just for me.
She knew things.
But also the idea that you might be able to sign a contract to know what's coming also, I mean, that really pushes against what we understand time to be, and that would mean the future is already set.
It not necessarily. We've talked about time before, that time is just not how we see that it is. It's more malleable, but it's in a swimming pool, like you had said that one time. It's like,
but it would be, the contract would be, this is the most probable future. It wouldn't be that this is the exact future.
I think it depends on the style of the contract. Why can't there be different versions? Why does it have to be one style of contract for everybody? Because I sure as hell know my afterlife experience is going to be one crafted by me. I mean, that's what I really think anyway. It's whatever mental baggage you got taken with you shapes what your afterlife will appear, and that there are different options in there. Like, right? Have either of you ever looked into the Tibetan Book of the Dead?
Yes.
I have not.
So different lokas, there are different planes to be gone, and Earth is not the only option.
We just talked about this with Jim Schmidt the other day. We got into Madame Blavatsky's version of the 7 layers of existence and the cosmic egg and all of that stuff. Because that's the other thing too. It's like you don't know what dimensional shifts are going to happen. Could throw that all off, and then you're in the living a Mandela effect. So
I'm going to bring this up now since you mentioned golden egg. There's a yogic concept called the Hiranyagarbha, and it is the spark of cosmic consciousness within all of us. And it's generally, when guided in through at least the tantric practices that I've been taught, that it's like a pinprick. It's like the tiniest little thing. And I think that seed could be in there, like you said, when ovum and sperm meet.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope I said that right. Egg and sperm, just to make sure. I'm like,
yeah, no, I knew what you meant, but I don't know. And then of course it's like, should we know? Will it make things less spectacular or more spectacular if we do find out?
Well,
spectacular.
And not to change the topic too much here, but if you were to
change it,
if you were to know that the soul inhabited the body at the time of conception, would that change your opinion on life in the womb?
Would not change my opinion on abortion, because that could be, you could choose to be burning through like the last little bits of karma that are just nasty and have to get burnt off. And in that concept,
I didn't necessarily say change your position on abortion. Just would that
I'm
change
going
your
straight
opinion?
there. That's what you were tiptoeing around, wasn't it?
Well, but I mean, also just so the preamble, what would it change your thought around life in the womb? You could still think life in the womb and still think that it's a woman's right to choose, which is where I fall down on. But would it change your, because that's kind of the argument against, is that let's not life in the womb because life is not until it's born. But if you knew that there was a soul inhabiting that body at the time of conception, would that change anything for you?
Nope.
Especially if I am a person that believes in that type of soul. It's going to the afterlife anyways. I mean, it's like, I know what, I hate to say this, but it's like, I know how shitty this life can be. I'd rather be there.
What if being an aborted fetus is one of the wildest rides you can go on? And so people sign up for it. Because, I mean, we've got people that would sign up for all kinds of crazy shit already.
Yeah.
Across the globe.
Fuck. That's insane to think about, but yeah.
Whew. I remember a life as a slug. I got ate by a bird. It's great. It's orgasmic. So anecdotal evidence says, go for it.
All right. So now that we've taken this from light, funny, laughing about belly whops,
life
whoppers,
and death.
Belly
Life,
whoppers.
So yeah, interesting topics tonight. Are really all over the place, kind of like stew or chowder. But
that onion water.
Onion water. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button, ring that bell,
smash that moon bell.
And thanks for sticking around for 15 episodes. And if you're new, welcome. Go back and watch the craziness that happened.
And check out all the other stuff we got going on, fearscapemedia.com. Lots of great podcasts out there, some older shows over there. And we got Bourbon Spirits with Keith Age getting ready to come out soon.
Yeah.
We're going to be dropping some stuff on that all new paranormal show with the original rock and roll ghost hunter himself, Keith Age, and his friend Shannon and some people at Bourbon Spirits. It's going to be awesome. So be on the lookout for that on the Fearscape Media Network.
Can I talk about my thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like Psychic Sleep happens Sunday nights at 8 Eastern Standard Time. It's a guided meditation. It lasts about an hour and 15 minutes. And I also at santosdavid.com have about 12 of the recordings up to purchase as well in my little store.
We recommend getting them because they're awesome.
I thought you were about to go, we represent
the Lollipop
Girl. And so to check out the Psychic Sleep stuff, they can find that at santosdavid.com. Like how to find new events and stuff. Cool.
UntouchedDavid.com.
.com. And Josh, let's go ahead and link that if we can to the Fearscape Media page, please.
It's done. I mean, it will be, but by the time this comes out, but it's done.
Boom. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Astral Stew.
We love you more than onion water.
Yeah. This
Good
has
night,
been
everybody.
Stefan. Blah, and Dr. Gooplar. Blah.
Dr. Gooblar.
Good night.